Hello, I'm James Ezimoha. Welcome to Africa News, where we bring you the latest updates from across the African continent. Let's dive in. France's military presence in Chad is officially coming to an end as a contingent of French soldiers left N'Djamena on Friday. 120 French soldiers boarded their flight from N'Djamena airport. This move comes after Chad's unexpected decision in November to end its defense cooperation pact with Paris, signaling a shift in the country's military relations. The withdrawal follows France's previous troop pullout from neighboring Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger as part of a border strategy to reduce military footprint in the Sahel region.
This departure of a French unit shows that, in fact, the disengagement of French forces is well underway and will be carried out as quickly as possible, in good order, in safety, and above all, in close coordination with the Chadian army, with which we have very long-standing, very strong ties, and we want to preserve these ties whatever the cost.
At least 13 people have died in a series of tragic stampedes across Nigeria. The victims, mostly women and children, were among crowds gathered at various charity events.
Two separate incidents in Nigeria led to the deaths of at least 13 people and left dozens more injured. In Abuja, 10 people were confirmed dead after a scramble for charity gifts at the Holy Trinity Catholic Church, while in Okija, Anambra State, a crowd crush during a similar charity event resulted in at least 3 confirmed deaths. One eyewitness described the terrifying moments when the crowd surged uncontrollably during the distribution of charity gifts. He said security tried to manage the situation, but was overwhelmed by the stampede.
When they opened the gate, even the security told them all to calm down, but they refused, and people were shouting and jumping through the fence. I even helped to pour water on some people who fell.
I even helped them rescue some people. We'll carry water they pour. In Abuja, the tragedy occurred during the distribution event aimed at helping vulnerable individuals. Police authorities have confirmed the death toll, but the public relations officer, Muiya Abejobi, provided an official statement about the stampede, emphasizing the severity of the situation.
In the early hours of today, the 21st of December 2024, another tragedy struck at the Holy Trinity Catholic Church, Mayotte in Abuja, in a similar stampede occurred during the distribution of food items to vulnerable and elderly individuals. This unfortunate incident led to the death of 10 individuals, leaving many others injured.
At least 32 children have also died during a stampede at a carnival in the southwestern Nigerian state of Oyo, officials said Thursday.
Still in Nigeria, tragedy struck at the southwest city of Ibadan when the stampede broke out at a religious event. Multiple deaths and injuries have been reported, and investigations are now underway. The incident occurred at an Islamic high school where a large crowd had gathered for a family event. Governor Seyi Makinde said in a statement posted on X that while investigations are ongoing, the primary organizers of the event that led to the stampede have been taken into custody. The exact number of the casualties remain unclear. However, officials confirmed that emergency services and security forces were quickly deployed to manage the situation. In Democratic Republic of Congo, UN peacekeepers are stepping up to protect farmers in the country's volatile eastern region, where ongoing conflict has threatened their livelihood.
Farmers in Congo's village of Dendro are tending to their fields under the watchful eyes of United Nations peacekeepers. The UN mission, known as MONUSCO, has been deployed in Congo since 2010, providing security from rebel groups and militias. MONUSCO's operation, Secure Harvest, aims to protect the farmers and ensure they can harvest their crops without fear of militia attacks. Locals say they rely on peacekeepers to respond quickly to any threats.
When we walk, we always have phones with the Bangladeshi MONUSCO contingent's number. If there is a problem, we call them and they call back immediately. We inform them where the attack took place, and they intervene quickly. And even when there are threats from our Lendu brothers, the Codeco elements who are never far away, they are very close to us. We make early warnings, and MONUSCO intervenes.
MONUSCO has been assessing the situation in the region, and Brigadier General Monozoro Alam, the Northern Sector Commander, highlights how the operations adapt to the seasonal challenges that farmers face during harvest time.
We conceived this idea in 2022, where we have seen and assessed the operation situation in our area of responsibility. We have seen that during the harvesting season, that means the October, November and December, the population goes to the field for harvesting their agricultural goods, and the perpetrators, that means the armed group, they take this opportunity and then incur in those agricultural field to loot the assorted items from them, to loot the agricultural products from them, and thereby there had been a lot of killings also in the agricultural field.
Last year, President Felix Tshisekedi asked the UN Security Council to end the mission. This was after protests over the perceived failure of the 13,500-strong force to protect the population. However, the decision was reversed by the government in July this year, reports say.
The President of France is grappling with discontent and mounting criticisms during his visit to Mayotte. Local residents are dealing with devastating aftermath of Cyclone Chido, demanding more aid and attention from the French government.
The situation in Mayotte remains dire following Cyclone Chido. President Macron arrived in Mayotte on Thursday and was met with an angry reception in the city of Pemanzi. Residents shouted and booed, accusing the government of failing to respond promptly to the crisis. It's been more than 5 days since the cyclone struck. According to official reports, 31 people have lost their lives in Mayotte, France's poorest overseas territory. However, some local leaders fear the death toll could be in the thousands. Thousands of people remain trapped on the rubble, their homes completely destroyed. Heavy rains have hampered rescue operations, making many areas inaccessible. In Mayotte's capital, Mamoudzou, some neighborhoods have been reduced to ruins. Aid distribution has been slow, leaving many in desperate need. Additionally, the government announced plans to increase the supply of food and water by air and sea. However, opposition politicians have accused the government of neglecting Mayotte, while local residents claim they have received no assistance since the cyclone hit. Earlier, a report from the French political group La France Insoumise has raised serious questions about President Emmanuel Macron's handling with the indigenous people of French overseas territories. The report specifically highlights alleged marginalization of the Kanak people of New Caledonia, accusations of neocolonialism and violent unrest following controversial government actions. LFI highlights blockades and violent clashes involving independence activists, militias and police in New Caledonia. It claims that 13 people died during the unrest, including at least 8 Kanak individuals allegedly killed by militias.
South Africa's blind football team made their debut at the BRICS Plus tournament in Moscow. Despite facing challenges, the team is determined to represent their country on the international stage.
A group of visually impaired football players in Johannesburg represented South Africa at the inaugural BRICS Plus blind football tournament in Russia, despite facing major obstacles. For team captain Simfiwe Dube, the trip to Russia is not just about the competition, it's a chance to give a voice to South Africans who are visually impaired.
Our purpose to go to Russia is to go and express that South African people, those people who are living with blindness, partially sighted, we are there for you, are going there for them. Yeah, not as us players. We are going there to represent the country. Yes, our mission is to go there and bring that cup at Russia.
The team faces numerous challenges, such as lack of resources and difficulties in assessing suitable playing turf for blind football.
The problem has been organized, sporting activities, and it is mostly hampered by, inadequate facilities or shortage or lack of equipment thereof. So you would have to have a proper soccer ball in order for you to play soccer, and you would have to have this type of grass, either synthetic or organic grass, but it would have to be, so well looked after. So you don't often find that where there's blind people predominantly. So you would have to move from place to place in order for you to play. So it is quite logistical.
The Johannesburg Society for the Blind, which supports the team, has also struggled in funding for essential trip preparations. Officials stress the need for more government support.
These guys are coming from disadvantaged families, and for various reasons, some of them, they don't stay with their families. And I want to believe, as they are national players now, the government should come on board, recognize them, and everything should be official.
The South African team featured 2 totally blind and 5 partially sighted players, along with 1 sighted goalkeeper. They faced professional and semi-professional teams from 6 other countries during the tournament.
That's all we have for today on African News. Thank you for watching and stay tuned to A News.